Alright, good evening folks. It's Saturday night. That means one thing. We are live here with Roarin Thunder Racing League. As tonight they take on Chicagoland Speedway for 134 laps with the K&N car. Now, I did get a chance to get out there in practice and run some laps because broken me, as you'll see on the scoring board there. I registered as a driver instead of a spectator, so if you see my number sitting up there, just strike that off the record because I am not running. But I do have some very, very insightful information, though, about this particular car and track tonight. It's very, very loose on the bottom as the tires start to wear out. Hell, it's even loose as the race begins, so it just gets worse and worse and worse. So I think what we're going to see tonight is a lot of middle to upper group racing, and very few drivers able to stick it and hold it down there on the white line. We know the 75 Robert Barris, he can hold it down there. Josue Tellez can do it in the 24. But look for the majority of the racing to be on that middle line. And since we are at 1.5 miles where there is an apron, there is one particular rule that Jeff put into play here. Nobody is allowed to dive down onto the apron on the front stretch. If you get caught doing so, you will receive a 30-second hold on pit road for doing it. Now, there are exceptions to that, i.e. if you're avoiding a wreck, if you get shoved down there, if it's 3 wide and you're trying to back out, then that's acceptable. But if you try to go below the apron for position, you will get a 30-second little vacation there on pit road. But as always, joining me in the booth is Alan Schoen. How you doing tonight, Alan?
You know what? I'm doing pretty good. Track food doesn't look all that great tonight, so we'll have to get some takeout.
Well, I already ordered beer and pizza and hot wings. They should be here in about 5 minutes, seeing how Jimmy John's was closed. But that's, I guess, just our luck. But we'll have food. What do you think we're going to see tonight?
You know, they're not going to be able to use that apron down low. May make a difference. You know, I didn't get to see a whole lot of practice because I was doing some other stuff myself, but we'll see how it rolls. A lot of good racers here tonight.
You know, honestly, I think that apron would be more of a curse than it would be a benefit, seeing how you're going from a flat surface back up to a bank surface. And the way these, well, I put roughly, I think, 50, 51 laps on the car, and I think that it would probably be potentially a deadly thing if you tried to go down there from the apron and come back up on the track. The car would probably just get extremely upset and wicked loose. So I'm really glad to see that Jeff implemented that rule to where you're not allowed to go down there and use that, because otherwise we would be seeing a lot of cautions. As now we have advanced into qualifying. We're going to let these drivers get out here and start getting their laps in. It is, I do believe, a single car qual. That's right, we're just waiting for some cars to come out on the track. They might be wrapping up the drivers' meeting.
Yeah, Jeff was just finishing up the driver's meeting there, Art.
That would explain why we have no cars on track. I almost, for a second, thought I might have screwed up there, but that's... We'll see cars out here momentarily as we get qualifying underway here at Chicagoland. In the meantime, we can go ahead and pull up a couple of our little widgets here. The weather, 78 degrees, track temps 103, which would explain the hot. And of course, as always, 55% relative humidity. Right now we seem to be dealing with a little issue here. Right now, I believe we're facing some technical difficulties here as there should be cars out on track right now, and we are seeing nothing. We figured out the problem, folks. Inadvertently, as me as a driver, right now the time that's out there would be for me to be out there qualifying, but like a moron earlier stated, I came in as a driver instead of a spectator. So once qualifying is done, we'll get everything shook out. So we're gonna go ahead and roll out the national anthem as I pound my head against the wall. So as we go through the gridding order, this may not be 100% correct, but from what I'm seeing so far, it looks right. On pole, I believe we have the 24 of Josue Tellez. Starting outside of him will be the 75 of Robert Barris. Charles Smith in the 21 will roll off third. Noah Lewis in the 98 fourth. Paul Buzz Cohen in the 51 fifth. Josh Medlock in the 6th, starting in 6th. Aaron Cummings in the 007 7th. Mark Gomez will roll off 8th, Jeff Dotson 9th. Jeremy Horn will round up the top 10 in the number 14. Jim Whaley Jr. rolls off 11th, Caden Bommersbach 18th, or as he referred to earlier, Blinkersbach, because he's got some storms going through. Me, of course, don't mind me there. We have Glenn Bowen rolling off 13th, and then Rick Mason will round up the field in 14th. Once again, I do not count, so as these guys get ready, any final words as the pace car is taking off? We've got 2 of our own DieHard drivers there on the front row. What do you think we're going to see? You think Josue is going to give it up to Robert pretty easy, or is he going to fight him there a little bit?
No, if we know Josue, he's going to try to keep pace with Robert as long as he can. Try to force Robert to overdrive his car a little bit, maybe give himself an advantage. But, you know, Josue, he's done better. It'll be interesting to see what he does here.
Well, a couple things to note, too, about Josue is, number one, this is his home track. And number two, when our league, DieHard Racing League, ran the K&N car, this is the car that we saw him excel the most in. So if there's going to be any competition for Robert, I think we might see it out of the 24, and there's a few other drivers in here that are very, very fast week in, week out. But is anybody going to have anything for that 75 popsicle machine that's starting on the outside pole? As we finally get everything worked out, the pace cars are making its way through turns 3 and 4. It'll be diving down pit road here, and we'll be getting ready for 134 laps as Josue leads us into the restart zone.
Green flag.
Green flag is out. We are underway here at Chicagoland Speedway with the Roarin Thunder Racing League K&N Series. They go into turn 1 and 2 for the first lap. Right now, we've got Josue still on the bottom as they come off of turn 2 into the backstretch. Josue has the run, but we already have the crossover here. I knew that was coming. I did that in practice myself. The first lap of the race is going to be led by the 75 machine of Robert Parrish. As right now we're looking at 6th spot. That is the 6th Joshua Medlock. Behind him.
Looking back through the field now, it's pretty much everybody's dropping in single file here. Looks like they're going to just kind of ride it out for a little while, but we've probably seen the occasional pass, but I think we'll find most of these guys.
Honestly, right there, that is the safest bet because, like I said during the pre-show, this car is already slick down on the bottom groove. The more laps and the more heat you get built up in those tires, the angrier and angrier those right sides are going to get. And especially if you're trying to make a pass low with some worn out ass tires, that car is going to get really, really loose. I tried doing it off the floor with a crossover and ended up mowing the lawn.
We have a battle here for 7th position as the 14 tries to drive low on the 33.
That's Jeremy Horn there in the 14 and Martin Gomez in the 33.
Caution.
And we've got a caution on the track. All right, looks like that one was the 88 of Caden Bommersbach, or as he had said, Blinkersbach. Here we see him coming through the front stretch here. Now, he did say that he might be blinking tonight because there's some storms rolling through, but see, he gets up there, he gets a little piece of the wall in 1 and 2, the car breaks loose, and oh, hard T-bone by the 46 of Jim Whaley there as both cars spin on the backstretch. Jim's able to keep it going, but the 88 definitely got the worst of that one, and he is on pit road. He came over race chatter and apologized for that one, so tough break for the 88 there early on, but we're going to see everybody now coming down for obviously some new tires, but we see the 6 of Joshua Medlock. He's going to stay out to lead a lap there. As we see lap car, that will be the 70 of Glenn Bowen. He is the lucky dog. He's going to go ahead and get his lap back there. Josh is staying out. I know exactly what he's doing because it's the same thing he did Tuesday night when we raced the late models at Kansas. He's staying out to get that bonus point for a lap lead, and we'll probably see that 6 car duck down pit road with 2 to green.
I mean, this early in the race is nothing to lose. Stay out, get that extra point for leading the lap, and then duck in, come out tail end. There's no shame in that this early.
Now, especially with 134 laps, and we were only 4 laps into it when the caution came out. I mean, tires do make a big deal, but they're not that big of a deal. Now, they are running a lightened fuel load, which also makes the car a little bit more loose, but once again, with only 4 laps, as we see there, the 6 is now going to go down pit road. He was staying out to get that bonus point, and he will do so, but now he will bring that Valvoline machine down pit road for servicing, which will hand the lead over to the 21 of Charles Smith. Let's go inside with our race leader right here. Take a look and see how much banking. I know from the driver standpoint, it doesn't really look like there's much, but once you go into the gyro cam, you can actually see how much banking there really is at tracks like this. You can see there's probably, I'd say probably about 13 degrees of banking. And as always, leader does have lane choice, so we see the 21 is going to opt to take the upper line as the lights on the pace car are out. We are 1 to green here, so we will restart this race on lap 9 as the field will double up here. All right, so once again, we've got Josue starting on the bottom. This time he's got the 75 of Robert Barris behind him, and behind our race leader, Charles Smith, we have the 98 of Noah Lewis. Behind Noah, we have the 51 of Paul Buzz Cohen, then the 00 of Aaron Cummings, and behind Robert, we can see the 33 of Mark Gomez as the pace car makes its way through 3 and 4. It'll be dipping down pit road once again. And Alan, I'll let you go ahead and call this restart here.
I'll just make sure I was on live before I tried to do that.
That would be a smart move.
As the pace car is off here,
Green.
we're down into the...
Green flag is out.
Josue and Robert get a good run down into turn 1 here.
I was just about to say, it looks like the outside line just didn't get a good enough restart as the inside did. As we can see, the 24 and the 75 easily able to clear the 21 there out of 1 and 2. So maybe just a little bit of mistiming there on that restart. As we've seen the front 2 cars, a little contact there between the 33 and the 14. They're able to gather it up. Great recovery there by the 33 of Mark Gomez. That's going to hurt him for position, but it's still very, very early on in this race, so not really going to affect him too bad. Nobody really got junked there, but we're going to go ahead and go to the 33 car and see if he's got a little bit of right side damage there on that machine. Doesn't appear he has any. I'm looking right now, don't see it there. Let's go ahead and take a look at his right front suspension. That looks all nice and clean. Let's take a look at his right rear. Nothing back there. So any contact that was made was probably just a 0X. So lucky break there for him, being scored right now in the 12th position. Meanwhile, as we go back to most exciting, we are looking at the battle for 3rd as the 21 of Charles Smith. Now we're looking at 5th spot, now back to 7th, the 14 of Jeremy Horn. as he's going to try and take a spot away from the 00 of Aaron Cummings. See how Aaron can hold up on that low line versus Jeremy on the middle to upper groove. As we can see, that high line definitely has a lot more momentum. You see the 3 of Jeff Dodson now coming in the picture. He's going to try and make his way around the 00 as well as the 6 of Josh Medlock. Jeff looking low here as they come across the straight. They go into 1, he's got him cleared. That will move Jeff up to 7th and Aaron back to 8th. Meanwhile, out front, Robert Barris has taken the lead from the 24 of Josue Tellez and has now put a half-second gap on it. We've got a battle now going on between the 14 and the 51. We see Jeremy working that outside groove. He's trying to take pit spot away from the 51, and he's got the run right now going into turn 3, but I don't think the 51's going to give it up without a fight. But he is able to clear them as they come out of turn 4, so move Jeremy Horn up to 5th spot. We focus on 7th, 8th, and 9th here. That's Jeff Dodson, Aaron Cummings, and Josh Medlock. As we can see now, the 51 with Paul Cohen coming into the picture there. That is 6th position as Jeff, Aaron, and Josh are all trying to chase down Paul there in that SOG Chevy Impala. Meanwhile, out front, the gap is still growing as we've got now just about an 0.8 of a second lead between the 75 of Robert Barris and the 2nd place car of Josue Tellez. Ooh, we see the 51, looks like he got a loose there, so he's going to lose 3 spots there. That will move the 3 of Jeff Dodson up to 6th, Aaron Cummings up to 7th, Josh Medlock to 8th, and the 51 back to 9th.
The 6 keeps getting a pretty good run here on the 00 coming out of the corner, but he just doesn't seem to have enough to get alongside of him.
Well, just like any other intermediate track, it's all about keeping that momentum, and sometimes you've really got to put that car in a place that you don't really necessarily feel comfortable putting it to keep that momentum there, and I think that's what we're seeing with the 6, as you can see right there, he's getting one hell of a run off exit. He's looking low there for a second, and he's going to try to look low here as they go into 1 and 2 here. See if Josh can make anything happen, but you really got to be careful of that low line. It's going to burn the tires up, and you see right there, he just lost so much speed through 1 and 2 on that low line versus staying up on the high line. So I think right now, the 2nd, 3rd, and possibly later in the race, maybe even that 4th group coming into play here, as the bottom is just going to get slicker and slicker as these tires get more laps on them, and as the track represents. We see now the 00 looking to the inside of the 3 of Jeff Dodson. See if Aaron can make the move stick down here as they go through 3 and 4. Jeff and Josh are both up in that 3rd groove. Aaron was able to make it and clear the 3 using the 2nd groove. So move Aaron up to 6th position, but he still has the 3 of Jeff Dodson right on his back bumper. They're chasing down the 46 of Jim Whaley. He is not on the same lap. He was involved in that first caution with the 88 of K&N Bommersbach. We can see the that 46 is tore up. Now these drivers do have one quick fix, but with 134 laps, I think, you think Jim's possibly saving that ace in the hole for a little bit later on in case something worse happens?
Well, you know, I wouldn't use my quick fix until anywhere past halfway. And I definitely would try to keep my stuff as clean as I could. Oh, three's a little loose. Nice recovery.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the 46. He got put a lap down, but let's take a look at just how bad that car is to see whether or not, as a driver, we would bring it in. All right, you can see about half of the right front tire. Take a look at the right rear. It's pretty pancaked out. Let's take a look at the, well, better yet, let's look at the rear chase view. Oh, look at the nose of that car. I think I would have opted to use a quick fix on that one because it definitely does not sound like it has full power. Let's pull his RPM range up and see. He's barely turning 7,000 RPM. That motor is definitely down on power. I believe if that was me, I would have used my quick fix. Looking out front, Robert Barris is still putting distance on the 24 of Jose Teles. He's now stretched it out to a 1.6 second gap between first and second. Meanwhile, we've got a battle going on here between the 51, the 6, and the 00.
As the 51 takes it down the outside here of the 6.
And now we see the 6 battling back there on the inside as they go through 3 and 4. He's gonna be able to clear it, but he dipped back down. But he is able to clear the 51 of Paul Cohen, so hand 6 spot back to the number 6 of Josh Medlock for now. I want to thank everybody who's tuning in now to watch this. We are 26 laps in out of 134 here at Chicagoland Speedway with the Roarin' Thunder Racing League's K&N National Impalas Series. Right now, we're still watching the 6 of Josh Medlock. Right now he's going to try and see if he can manifest anything against the 00 of Aaron Cummings there. As you can see, once again, he's getting killer runs out of the corner as he's able to get about door. See what he could do here in 1 and 2 as he's down there on that low line, but we all know that corner exit's going to be a little bit more important as we see Aaron's able to just rocket off of there as well as the 51 now. So now the 6 is under fire. He's going to lose the spot to Paul Cohen, but let's see if Josh can reel it back up. Like right now, I would not be wanting to run that low line. I'd be getting back up higher with those other guys and not making those Goodyear Eagles as angry at me as running that low line will do here at Chicago. But at the same time, I don't want to put the car on the wall either. So it's a fine line between sacrificing grip and time on the track or putting the car on the wall. As now we got a battle between the 51 and the 00 as Paul Cohen, he wants to take 4th spot. So he will get that as they come out of 4. Now we've got a 00 once again. He's going to try on the outside to reclaim that spot. Oh, and we get Aaron in the wall there. There's some right side damage to that yellow machine. That's going to allow the 6 of Josh Medlock to clear him on the backstretch. Let's take a look at that right front and see how bad it is. It's caved in a little bit, but the telltale camera is the rear chase cam. It's got a little bit of a hood pop there. Right side's pushed a little bit over, but nothing too serious. I've seen a lot worse. But you gotta wonder if that's going to cause a little bit of possible suspension damage there. I think now we're going to start seeing some green flag pit stops happening because they are under limited fuel here, as we've seen the 24 of Josue tell us. The 98 of Noah Lewis, they have both gone down pit road already, so that might spur green flag pit stops to start taking place here. Right now we are looking at our race leader, the 75 Robert Barris. Right now he has a substantial gap as we've got a lot of people, it appears they're going to be coming down pit road. Looking at it right now, the 70 of Glenn Bowen has had 2 pit stops, the 24 of Josue Telsa 2, and a 98 of Noah Lewis with 2 pit stops. Everybody else has yet to come down for their green flag servicing. Looking at some of the pit times, it looks like the 21 of Charles Smith inherited the lead with possibly a fuel only or fuel and 2 tires, because he pulled off an 8 flat while we were working our first caution on lap 4.
Caution's out.
And we've got a caution on the track.
How's my radio been today? Could you hear me fine?
As we see, the 75 has to slow down for the iRacing pace car. He will catch up to it, and so will the rest of the field here, and we will get green flag pit stops, or not green flag, but our second round of pit stops going on here. As you see the 75 checking up in turn 3 for the pace car. Right now, the 24 of Josue Tellis will be scored as the lucky dog. Right now, Alan is looking to see what brought that caution out. See everybody coming down. We see our second place car and third. They're all in the boxes here. Right side's going up on the 75 as well as the 21. Left side's and 75's down and away. 21 getting a little bit of a pair there. As you see the 6 to 14, 70. So it looks like Robert was able to beat everybody off of pit road, as he will maintain the race lead here, as we've got 2 cars that will stay out this time, I do believe, to get a wave by. The 46 of Jim Whaley and the 98 of Noah Lewis, unless either one of them decides to come down and pit. Now we know the 46 is definitely not running on all cylinders. He's only hitting about 7,000 RPMs as we see the 46 going down pit road. That'll leave the 98 of Noah Lewis, who has already taken his green flag stop before the caution came out. He will stay out for the free pass when they take 1 to green here. He will recycle to the tail end of the lead lap. Be right along with your race leader right now. You can hear him clutching it. Definitely running with a low fuel load here. You're definitely going to want to save. So we should be seeing the lights on the pace car going out this time by. And we will see the 98 of Noah Lewis race back around to catch the rest of the field, as he will take the free pass here. Looking through our sets of pit stops here, our fastest off pit road would be the 46 of Jim Whaley. His last pit stop was a 14 flat. Actually, I'd take that back. The 75 of Robert Barris with a 13.8 on his second stop. So that is our fastest pit stop so far of a actual pit stop, not just coming down for a splash and go. As we see the 00 of Aaron Cummings, he was on pit road there for 15.8. So once again, the field is doubled up. We will restart this race on lap 39. Robert electing to take the inside line. Interesting call there on the 75. Let's see what'll happen when they restart here in roughly a quarter of a lap here. Now we're going to watch this restart from the rear chase point of view to see exactly how much wheel gets put in and how these lines react with each other.
Pace car's in.
Green flag.
Green flag is out. We are back underway, and as you can see, Robert gets a good jump there on the start. That's going to allow him to move up to the upper groove there for great entry into turn 1 and 2. You see the field behind Robert is still 2x2 trying to sort it out. We've got the 70, the 33, the 51, 21, all right there battling it out. We got the 6, the 3.
Here comes 64 Hostway down the inside of the 3 here.
Hostway is no stranger to running right down there on that white line, nor is the 75 of Robert Barris. Both drivers are definitely not afraid to stick that car all the way down to the apron. Now, I absolutely love, as you see the 70 there, almost a little bit of contact between the 51, the 70, and the 21 there, but luckily they were able to avoid that. But once again, going back to the rule about not being able to go below the white line in the trial, well, I absolutely love that rule right there, because we've seen it so many times, especially for those of you out there who are racers and have been in official races, and you've had some idiot go down there below the apron and then automatically assume that he can just come back up at any point, and you may or may not have been wrecked by him, or you've come up and...
Or just putting the upsets in the car.
Exactly.
Take out half the field.
Very, very smart.
Really tight races going on here. 33, the 70, 21, 51, and 24. They're trying to find their way through this mess here.
Meanwhile, Robert is checking out. He's got a 1.2 second lead, and that is growing. We've got the 21 and the 24 on the inside, the 70 and the 51 there on the outside.
The 70's holding that 21 off, not allowing him to really get a decent run up off the corner.
And he's also slowing down the 51 as well behind.
Yeah. But hey, it's racing.
That, he's kind of trapped there on the outside too. He can't really do anything. He's got 2 cars. Like right now, he could dive down to the inside. But I don't know. Yeah, I was just about to say. Right, usually, about the time I say something, it usually goes the exact opposite. But we can see right there, the 70 had a better run. So we got the 51 in the wall. He holds it up there, so that'll eliminate that there. So let's see if the 24 can get his way to the outside here of the 70 and make the pass. Meanwhile, we've got the 3 of Jeff Dodson trying to make a move on the 00 of Aaron Cummings. It looks like it's the other way around as Aaron's going to take that spot. This is for 9th position as we see Jeff's rallying back in turn 3 here. He's on the inside. But we all know, as that run off the corner, you're going to see the 0-0. He's going to have the edge there, but Jeff is still hanging on that inside, but he's not able to clear the 0-0.
Goes way to the inside of the 70 of, Glenn Bowen.
We see Josue get a little bit slideways there out of turn 2. That time he is able to clear it. Meanwhile, ahead of him, we've got even more going on. We've got the 14 of Jeremy Horn, the 33 of Mark Gomez, the 21 of Charles Smith, and the 6 of Josh Medlock all battling it out. Now we see the 24 of Josue Teles making his way in the pictures. He's diving it way down to the apron there in 3.
Yeah, Josue's good at really rotating that car down to the apron and getting all the speed into the corner he can.
Would you say that he's making that car do the Macarena?
I was thinking more of like I walked the line, but
they better watch it, otherwise he'll be singing Folsom Prison Blues.
As he eats the wall.
I hear that wall coming.
Oh! And the 70 hits the wall hard, and the 51 follows him right into it.
Great job by both. Oh, the 51 gets it again. That's going to allow, I believe, the 0-0 to make it around him.
24 is challenging the 6 of Josh Medlock down as he's running it way down low.
It's Josh versus Josh. Oh, Josue getting a little loose there out of 3 and 4. Meanwhile, let's not forget also the 21 and the 33. Both of them are challenging for position as well. This is for 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Actually, this is for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Yeah, there's a pretty good battle going on between
As
these.
you can see right there, that car way out front with a 2.5 second lead. That is the 75 of Robert Barris. As we are 51 laps in, and I believe that was the 33 there of Gomez getting the wall a little bit, as the 21 of Charles Smith is all over the back bumper of that car. But we saw a little bit of a bobble out of the back end of that 21 machine. Now, I can attest to this. I've been behind cars and I've been in front of them, and the dirty air really does affect these machines a lot now.
I wouldn't know. I haven't turned the lap in 3 months.
I played the 5th.
I drank the 5th.
Wait a minute, that's untrue, because we did test and tune for setup building. Oh shit, never mind, you're right, that was about 3 months ago. Right now, nothing has really changed.
Way down low on the 21 here. Charles is not going to give that position up easy, but Josue's going to drive it in low and deep here, and he is going to really get a good run.
They're still door to door as they come to the stripe there. Josue with a slight advantage, but we all know the longer you run these cars down on that low line, the looser it's going to be. As we see, he gets a little piece of that apron there, and that's just enough for him to slow up a little bit, but he's still able to keep that 21 pinned up there to where he cannot make a move on the 33 of Mark Gomez.
You know, Josue's come a long way in his driving skills. He's been real consistent at really driving that car down deep into the corner and not losing it. So, you know, he may have a pretty good chance here as he's clearing the 21 and making a move to the 33 now.
Hell, I've got full Fanatic gear, and that boy's driving a Logitech G27. He's driving better than me. Of course, that's not saying much. Right now, Josue is door to door with the 33.
That'll give him third position as we come into the line, and he's going to get the clearance.
Oh, we got Gomez in the wall in contact with the 21 and the 6. 21 to Charles Smith going around, no caution yet as he tags the inside wall. He's trying to get that car back under control, but I think he's trying to get a caution thrown is what he's trying now. That or just trying to get it refired, but nope. I think that's trying to trip a caution there. That or those tires were just so hot that he could not get, no, he locked it down in front of the race leader, so that will bring the caution out. That was a intentional caution there. So we are working our third caution now. Third caution of the night. So once again, Robert will collect the pace car on the backstretch. Now, this is completely up to you. Do you want to go ahead and drag the 21 down here and see what happened there?
Hey, Charles, saw that caution come out there. What happened, bud?
No, sometimes we get those moments there where we do have technical difficulties. We try to bring people down. Trying to remember who got the wall first out of that one. Was it the 51 or was it the 33?
I do believe it was the 51, but I can go back and look.
But you know what? Let's bring since Medlock made it out pretty easily out of that one. Let's bring Josh down there and let's see what his take was on how he was able to avoid that wreck. Hey Josh, starting the booth, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you. What's up?
How in the hell did you miss that one? That was right in front of you.
Yeah, I don't know how I missed it. I actually got a piece of him, and it actually, you know, gave me a 4X. So, slight damage, but it didn't register when I pitted. So, I guess my car's fine. I'm just, you know, mainly trying to survive and get a good finish out here because I'm not really familiar with Chicagoland.
It looked like it was Gomez that got a little piece of the wall, and then Charles ended up getting caught in that, but appears that you still do have a clear nose on that Valvoline Impala there, so I think we should be getting one to green this time by. We just figured we'd drag you down here and see what the car was looking like, and more importantly, if he needed to change his shorts after that one.
Well, I'm definitely gonna have to go check them later, but yeah, it appears to be no damage or any that I can, you know, tell. But I mean, the car's running fine; it's handling good. So just, you know, want to get a top 5 and hopefully pull out my first win. So yeah, we are gonna get the one to go. So let's see what happens.
All right, buddy. Well, lights are out, so best of luck to you, and hopefully we get to talk to you in Victory Lane.
Oh man, that would be great.
All right, so the lights are out on the pace car. The field is doubled back up. We spoke with the 6 of Josh Medlock there. He barely was able to make it out of there without any damage. The 21, not so much, and the 33 doesn't appear that he has too much going, but we see Robert has elected once again to take that inside line, so it paid off last time. Let's see what he can do against the 14 on this restart, as once again we're going to go into probably my new favorite restart camera, the rear-facing cam. They come into the restart zone. Green flag is back out. We're back underway. Robert getting a good jump so far. Again, he is able to clear the 14, so as they go into 1 and 2 for the first time, Robert will have no problem at all getting through the corner there.
Oh, Sway must have had one heck of a pit stop, because that brought him all the way up into 3rd. Well, no, he was already up in 3rd, wasn't he?
Actually, he was in, yeah, he was in 3rd. He had a 15.3, the 14, Jamie Horn had a 15.3, Robert Barris had a 14.5, Mark Gomez had a 14.1, which is the fastest out of all of them this time. So this round of pit stops scored 33 fastest pit.
Give him a little bit of a bump, says, hey, I'm here, buddy, I want to go by.
And we had heard from the 6, he's just out there trying to survive too, so might not be exactly what that 6 car wanted, was a little bit of a bump, but so far both cars are still tracking straight, which is a good thing. As you see behind him, looks like the 00 of Aaron Cummins might be blinking a little bit. It seems always happens. We got the 51 in the wall on the backstretch again. He's going to go up high. That'll allow the 46 of Jim Whaley, who's 2 laps down, to get around.
Yeah, I do believe that 51 car has a wall magnet this evening.
Unfortunately, sometimes it does happen. You see the 3 of Jeff Dotson way up high. See the 98's been able to get around him, the 00. Oh, the 3 got into the wall, contact with the 3, and I believe that is the 46. No caution. Let's go back and look at that though real quick. I want to take a look at that.
3 gets into the wall a little bit there.
Oh, here it is from the backstretch, and I believe it's the 18 that we're going to see go for a ride with the 3. That would be Rick Mason. And we see Jeff get the wall there, and unfortunately, just both of them were able to keep it down, but they synchro spin. Wow, 18 of Rick Mason hard in the wall. How that did not trip a caution, I do not know. That was a very, very hard hit by the 18 of Rick Mason.
Yeah, I just think that they got down below the racing surface fast enough that it didn't bring a caution out, and there was no other cars coming up on them, so iRacing didn't trip a caution there.
It would have to be that there was no other cars because that 18 slid all the way up and slammed the outside wall. So
yeah, there was no other traffic, so I was caution.
Man, I would have thrown a caution for that one because that was a brutal hit. But if iRacing does not throw it out, then it will not come out.
Yeah, that hit was so hard, I think he was picking his teeth on his chickens.
I'm trying to remember who it was. I know it was with DieHard, but you might be able to remember better than me. It was my one-liner that I pulled out there. They hit the wall so hard they might have knocked a couple wires because they started blinking afterwards. He hit the wall so hard he might have knocked some wires loose in his computer. I'm thinking it might have been Adam Lewis.
Yeah, that was Adam Nowinski and DieHard that happened to. I didn't really.
We are looking at 7th spot right now. That is the 51 of Paul Buzz going. Right now he does have a lap car separating him and 6th spot, the 70 of Glenn Bowen, as we see in front of him the 6 of Josh Medlock at 5th spot. We'll give a quick run through here of the top 10. Right now it's the 75 of Robert Barris out front with a 1.9 second lead over the 2nd place, the 14 of Jeremy Horn. Josue Tellison in 24th, 3rd. The 33 of Mark Gomez in 4th. Josh Medlock in the 6th, 5th. 70 of Glenn Bowen, 7th. Paul Cohen in the 51, 7th. Noah Lewis in the 98, 8th. The 00 of Aaron Cummings, 9th. And Jeff Dotson in the number 3 will round out the top 10. We go further back. We have the 46 of Jim Whaley in 11th. Charles Smith in the 21, 12th. Rick Mason in the 18, 13th. And rounding out the field will be the 88 of Kate Bommersbach, who is having connectivity issues due to storms in the area. And I do believe that was the first caution. It was because of the blinking going on. He opted to do the gentleman's thing and park that car on pit road. So we're past halfway here now. Let's go ahead and bring up the statistics here. So far we have 73 laps in the books. We've had 4 lead changes and 3 cautions for 12 laps. Oh, and we got the 70 of Glenn Bowen in the wall and spinning down the front, in the infield rather. No caution, but I want to go ahead and see that one there. So you see he was able to gather it up and get it back up to speed. Let's go ahead and see just exactly what happened. If he just got a little piece of the wall there and the car just broke loose. This is coming out of 4. Oh, good. Yeah, there he goes. He just gets a little piece of the wall there, and he's able to drive it straight through the infield in that Stella Artois vehicle.
You know, I thought that's what that was. I just hadn't had a chance to zoom in.
A lot of people call that the Stella Artis, but it's actually Stella Artois.
Yes.
They make the hard cedar, as they call it. Not cider, but cedar. I don't know about you, but anything with apple in it, if it's not like liquor, can't drink it. It gives me an instant freaking headache.
Gives me a headache.
Oh, we had 24 of Josue, loose there coming out of turn 2.
And we're joined in live chat by Mike Major from DieHard Racing. He says he's rooting for Who Said Telephone tonight.
Josu Telefone? Right now we're looking at 2nd place here. That is the 14 of Jeremy Horn. he's going around the 18 of Rick Mason. Meanwhile, Josue has managed to make it around the 3 of Jeff Dodson, as well as the 33 of Mark Gomez. So now Josue has to get around the 18 and set his sights on that 14 Wrangler National Impala to take over second spot, as Robert Barris now with a 3.1 second lead over that 14 car. We're getting really close to that point in the race where we stop counting the laps up and start counting them down. As we look right now at our race leader briefly, we can see that gigantic gap there, as now Josue is starting to nose up on the back end of that 14 machine, as we see him get a tiny piece of the wall there. Once again, Josue is going to drive it down all the way to the white line through 3 and 4 there to try and get some ground there on the 14. Somehow Josue has been able to do it. He's brought that down. The interval continues to shrink between him and the 14, but as we see out front, it's 3.4 seconds and going up, as right now Robert is just walking away with this. We take a look right here at pit spot. That's the 6 of Josh Medlock. See the 3 there, Jeff Dodson blinking a little bit.
Good, yeah.
Behind the 6, we have the 98 of Noah Lewis. That is the next car for position. Right now, Josh does have 2 lap cars in front of him. He's got the 3 there of Jeff Dodson, and he's got the 46 of Jim Whaley. He's got to get up to the 33 of Mark Gomez to challenge the 4th spot. But right now, I think that 6 is pretty content to sit in 5th spot right now, as he said he's just riding.
As you were covering all of that, Josue just rips by the 14 here. So he is in second place. He's going to try to run his way down and catch that 75 of Robert. But I don't think he's got a hope or a prayer unless we get a caution.
No, we can't rule anything out. We've seen, as these cars on the long run, they do tend to get loose, and they do tend to go up the walls. We see Josue still able to run that second groove, whereas we're seeing Jeremy in the 14 running the 3rd to 4th groove. But once again, different drivers have different driving styles, as we see Josue all the way down to the 1st groove. It's one of the things I love about tracks like this, Kansas, Kentucky, Auto Club, Michigan. It's definitely multi-groove tracks, and that really allows drivers who can run a particular line to be able to commit to that line and run it, and then if they start feeling the car begin to change on them as the long run takes place, they can adjust their line, because there's just so many different grooves that you can run that car in and still keep it off the wall. So now, I didn't even notice because I was too busy watching this. We have reached the point where we are now counting down the laps. It'll be 48 laps to go at the stripe. All right, while these guys are on a nice green flag run, we're going to try and sneak a quick commercial break in and hopefully not miss anything and get back to the action, as we should start seeing green flag pit stops coming up soon. So we're going to hit a quick commercial break and return with the action. right, so nothing has changed other than the interval between first and second. It is continuing to grow as Robert now has a 4.5 second lead over the 24 of Josue Tellez, who is sitting in second spot right now. We are watching third place, the 14 of Jeremy Horn.
Looks like we may have some green flag pit stops starting as the 24 comes down pit road here. And I heard over driver's radio that the 6 and the 14 are coming down this time by.
Looks like I picked the perfect timing for a commercial.
Well, we got the 75 and the 24 down pit road. Looks like Josh Maddox 6 has already been down. They're all taking 4 tires and rolling off. Oh, Josue's a little loose getting back onto the track. And 51 hits the commitment cone for a penalty on his way down pit road. So we got the 98 and 51 both on pit road now. That's an unsafe pit entry during a green flag, I think. He may have to come back down, or I believe he has to come back down. I'm not positive. Yeah, but he may have had to serve that under green flag as he was there, because his pit time was 30.1 seconds, so I do believe he served it well.
Now we see the 98 of Noah Lewis. He's getting up there and trying to take the second spot away from the 14 of Jeremy Horn.
It looks like most of our green flag pit stops have come to a conclusion here. That'll put Robert Barris back out in first place in that 75 ride.
With a 10.1 second lead and growing. Did somebody say Bristol Stomp? I think we need to rename that one the Chicagoland Shuffle this time.
Yeah, I mean, Robert's setting an unprecedented pace out there for these guys. So, I mean, without seeing a caution, I don't know. I just don't see it. I don't see anybody being able to reel him back in.
Well, once again, this might end up being one of the races where we don't see the battle for the lead, but we're going to see a battle for second spot. So we see right now the 14 and the 98 coming up on lap traffic. Jeff's going to stay low and slow. Smart move. That'll allow both cars to clear, but it'll also allow the 14 to gain a little bit of ground there off of turn 2. He's able to stretch it out by 3/10 over the 14 car. Meanwhile, as we go back to the most exciting, we're looking at 7th spot right now. That is the 70 of Glenn Bowen, who we saw get the outside wall and then somehow drive it straight to the infield. he has used his quick fix because that Stella Artois car is looking a lot better than it did after he hit the wall with it. Right now he is being scored in 7th. Behind him we have the 00 of Aaron Cummings. That would be the last car I'm seeing on the lead lap. Paul Cohen right now in the 51 being the first car a lap down. So if the caution flag were to come out right now, the 51 as it stands would be the lucky dog with 35 laps to go here at Chicagoland. Take a look here at the 00, that mellow yellow machine piloted by Aaron Cummings, son of Rudy Cummings, who is the original Max Speed TV, who we partner with on this league to broadcast with. Rudy's got half of the races, we've got some of them, and then a couple of them you might actually see me running full time in this league next season, as there's a another person that Jeff has got his eye on that has been hanging out with Rudy is going to be covering the Phoenix race and the Myrtle Beach race, which means good news for me is that I get extra seat time, and potentially next season I get to race full season with these guys versus a Michael Waltrip schedule that I've got this season with him.
So that pit stop was an unfortunate situation for 24. Josue Tellez says he was leaving pit road, he was trying to get the car up to speed, and I don't know if he got into some marbles or what, but the car come right out from underneath him, and he spun it around a few times. He is 20-some seconds behind Robert right now.
I'm seeing 23.109 as of last lap.
Yeah, so, I mean, he really needs a caution to get back into this thing. I mean, unfortunate for him that he looped it off pit road.
Well, the bright news is he is still being scored in the 6th spot. So the 70, we don't see the 24 anywhere in pictures. We see the 70 in the wall. He's going to dive down there on the apron, back up on the track, able to keep that thing under control. He's going to lose a spot, though, to the 00 of Aaron Cummings. That will give him 7th spot, and he'll shuffle the 70 back to 8th. And it does appear that the 21 of Charles Smith has taken that machine behind the wall. Looking out front, Robert now has stretched that lead out to 14.7 seconds over second place, who we're looking at right now.
Not sure if it's an unscheduled stop or not, but 24 of Josue Tellez is coming back down pit road now.
Well, I'm pretty sure after his little incident there leaving pit road, he might... This might be actually a strategy call, because they might need to pit one more time. So we might see him short pitting and running it roughly, I believe the max I got in practice here was, I think Chad told me to pit in 5 at about 20-something laps. So Josue might be on to something here. We'll definitely know something's up if we see the 75 come down pit road.
Yeah, the 6 car of Josh Maddox just hauled out. He Madlock.
I almost grammar Nazi'd you there. Meanwhile, we see the 98 of Noah Lewis. He's able to get around the 33 of Mark Gomez. That was for 3rd spot. So shuffle the 98 up to 3rd and the 33 back to 4th. We see more drivers going down pit road. Right now, the 00 of Aaron Cummings being scored in 5th position. be 26 laps to go at the line. And now we see the 33. He's going to take that spot back from the 98. So move Mark back into the 3rd spot and Noah back to 4th. So simple swap of positions there. So we're starting to get down to the wire here. 25 laps to go when Robert crosses the line. Right now, the 6th car there of Josh Medlock being shown, the 1st car 2 laps down, and the 70 behind him, Glenn Bowen, being right now the 1st car 1 lap down. So in the event the caution would come out, the 70 would be your lucky dog. As we see the 46 of Jim Whaley, he is being scored 4 laps down. He's obviously on fresher tires as he was just able to motor by that 70. Now, once again, we focus back to the 00. He's being scored now in the 4th position. So right now, 4 cars on the lead lap here with 23 laps to go at Chicagoland. It's probably going to come down to pit strategy here. Who can go the distance and who is playing it safe. So right now, Robert has a 15.4 second, 15.5 now, second gap over the 14 of Jamie Horn in 2nd spot. And the 33 of Mark Gomez is another 3.5 seconds behind that, so 19 seconds back to 3rd place. As we see Robert right now is kind of mired down in lap traffic, as we see he's actually coming up to lap the 00, which is 4th place. He's got the 18 of Rick Mason in front of him right now, but in front of Rick is the 00 of Aaron Cummings. So if Robert can make it around the 18 and then make it around the 00, that'll put 3 cars remaining on the lead lap. As right now we see the 6 of Josh Medlock. He's going to go to the inside, as well as the 46 of Jim Whaley. They're both going to look to the inside of the 75 as they're both on fresher tires. And right now Robert is basically just trying to maintain a steady race pace and not burn those tires off of that popsicle machine there as the laps are dwindling down. See this all right here is directly in front of your race leaders. We see the 70 of Glenn Bowen making his way off of pit road. We see almost looks like the 18 a little bit sideways there out of turn 2, but then again these cars do have a lot of stagger in them, so sometimes it's an optical illusion. Oh, we have the 6 of Josh Medlock in the wall there in turn 3. That's going to make things different. See the 00 of Aaron Cummings coming down pit road, and now the 75 is going to look to the inside of the 18 here. It will get that spot going into 1. Robert going up there to put a little bit of a block on him to kind of chop a little bit off to cut the speed there, as now he's going to have to try and chase down the 6. So right now 3 cars being scored on the lead lap. Right there, the 75 of Robert Bears, the 14 of Jeremy Horn in 2nd, and the 33 of Mark Gomez in 3rd spot. And you kind of got to wonder what is going through Robert's head right now. We see Robert down on pit road. Leader, pit road. I was about to say, that could have been a very disastrous thing if Robert nailed that cone. Meanwhile, we've got the 24 of Josue Tellez battling on the inside of the 70 of Glenn Bowen. That is not for position. Josue is down 1 lap. The 70 is down 2 laps. And Robert's final pit stop of the race will be a 15 flat. We also have the 14 of Jeremy Horn on pit road for his final servicing here. Let's see what the time is. Jeremy will have a 15.2, so that will hand the lead over to the 33 of Mark Gomez. But he is now, looks like he is on pit road as well now, so that will, once things shake out, that should put the 75 back out front again. As the 33 is in his box. He's gonna go with a splash and go, 4.7. He's gonna try and stay out and get back out ahead and maintain that gap on Robert, but Robert took tires and fuel, so 15 laps to go here at Chicagoland. And right now it's gonna be who's gonna get out there first. Right now I'm seeing, according to IRTVO's scoring, it's got the 75 of Robert Barris out front. So far tonight, Robert has led 111 laps here at Chicago. The 14 right there that we're seeing, he has led 2. The 6 right there, he has led 1. The 33 of Martin Gomez, he has led 1. Josue Tellez has led 2. I think that's pretty much going to be it for, nope, the 21 of Charles Smith, he's led 3, and that will consist of all your laps there. Is right now Robert with a 16.4 second lead, and it's just climbing. Right now this is going to probably be another runaway win here unless we get a late race caution that somehow stacks the odds back up. But right now it looks like it's pretty much set in stone.
Robert's going to run out of fuel on the last lap.
How's he going to run out of fuel? He already came down and pitted for the last time.
He's still going to run out of fuel. He's got a hole in his tank.
I was going to say, would you do punch a hole in the tank? Because right now, we do see battle for position here. The 24 of Josue Tellez, he's going to try and take away 4th spot from the 6th Josh Medlock. And no trouble whatsoever. So despite Josue's little incident there exiting pit road, he has managed to get back up into 4th spot here. 2 cars in front of them are not for position, the 70 and the 46. Nor is the 46 and the 70 for position either. The 46 being scored 2 laps down, the 70 1 lap down. So right now Josue is trying to get at least 1 lap car in between him and the 6, which he's already done so. Now we're under 10 laps to go here. Can Josue possibly rally for a 3rd place finish? We can see the 33 in the distance up there, but does Josue have enough time with only 9 laps to go? So we can now clearly see the 33 in picture with 7 laps remaining here. Does Josue have enough to take third spot away from the 33 of Mark Gomez? Now here it comes. Josue's got a clear shot at the 33. I think he's going to be able to do it. He's once again down there on that bottom seam. Looks like he had a better runoff as he clears the 33, moved the 24 of Josue Teles up to 3rd position. So great turn of events there for the 24 team, as earlier in the race he did have a little bit of trouble getting off of pit road. He had the car step out from around him and at one point was stuck in the back of the pack. So great rally back by the 24 as he is now being scored in the 3rd spot. As we're looking at your race leader right now, it'll be 3 laps to go when he crosses the line.
The 6 cars reporting that he may not have enough fuel to finish the race. He doesn't think he put enough fuel in the car.
Well, I'm showing that he does have 5 pit stops. It just depends on when he took his last stop. If he short pitted it, he might not have enough fuel. So you see the 33 of Mark Gomez, that is 4th spot, getting put a lap down by your race leader. So next car to get lapped, which probably will not happen as there's only 2 laps remaining here at Chicagoland, is that 24 of Josue Teles.
Robert's just in a race of his own here. I mean, if he could, he'd lap himself at this point, I think.
Probably. So this will be white flag, last lap here at Chicagoland, and we're going to ride on board with your race leader as he only has 4 more corners to bring this one home. And you can see directly in front of him the 24 of Josue Teles. That is 3rd spot. I don't think Robert's going to try to put that car a lap down, but if he can get up there, by God, he'll do it. So Robert is going to come across the stripe here to take the checkered flag with a 21.5 second lead. He is going to win here at Chicagoland. So hand your race win over to the 75 of Robert Barris. Coming home 2nd tonight will be the 14 of Jeremy Horn, and 3rd place will be the 24 of Josue Teles. So obviously we will get our victory celebrations underway here as the 75 is going to bring it down to the start finish line here and get the victory celebrations underway. All right, while our race winner is doing his little deal, let's go ahead and bring in our 3rd place finisher, because I got some questions for Mr. Telephone. All right, Josue, you've had your ups and you had your downs in this race. Before we go any further, you want to explain what happened there with that little incident getting off of pit road?
Yeah, hey, yeah, when I was getting out of pits, the car got a little bit loose. I got a little bit excited because I figured I was doing a nice early pit. Maybe I could beat Robert out of it, but too much gas and the car came around. But I was able to collect it and get back on the hammer and just drive it.
Well, at one point, Alan had you down and out in the books, but you rallied back and you got a third place finish out of it. You almost got lapped by Robert there on the last lap in the final corners, but I think he went a little bit easy on you. How was it battling Mark there? As we saw, he was definitely on older tires, but every time you come up on another car that's 4th position and you know you've got better tires, you know as a driver, especially if you're the person that has the older tires, how hard are you going to make it on somebody to try and get around you?
Well, I mean, I won't make it as hard because I would like the favor later on, but I don't mind the difficulty of trying to get in a position and whatnot. But luckily, the car tonight and the track temperature and everything was perfect, and I'm able to get good power apex and out. So I was able to do strong moves, I guess you could say, and able to hold the line and make the passes. And if everyone's gonna make it, I mean, if everyone wants to make it difficult to pass, that's fine with me. I will race them hard as well when it comes down to it, but I will also let them go. So it was all good racing.
Well, shit, that makes one of us, because I was in there at practice with you guys, and hell, I could not freaking keep that car on the bottom line without it breaking loose.
Oh yeah, yeah. She broke loose a couple of times when I was pushing it a bit, but overall it was a great car. A bunch of bowhand moves on my end, but but otherwise we ended up with a third place finish. So it was better than being in the back.
Well, once again, congratulations on that third spot finish. Is there anybody that you'd like to thank?
I want to thank the guys for having this race, DieHard for hosting the stream, and then congrats to Robert for the win, congrats to Jeremy for second, and thanks for all the guys for racing me hard. And it was a great race. It was a fun race.
All right, well, we'll see you tomorrow night at Charlotte Motor Speedway with DieHard Racing League as we go into round 3 out of 4 for the Chase Series. How you feeling about Charlotte?
A little nervous, but when it comes down to it, I'm gonna be in the zone, and you gotta get to work. So looking forward to it.
All right, well, we'll see you tomorrow night, buddy.
All right, Art. Thank you.
All right, that was our third place finisher, DieHard's own Josue Tellez. Alan, go ahead and bring Jeremy in, and let's see what he has to say.
Hey, Jeremy, this is Alan up in the booth, man. Brought it home second. Hard running there. Robert's just set sail on you guys there. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, Alan. Thanks. Yeah, Robert's a beast at mile and a half tracks. But other than that, it was a pretty good race tonight. It was a little bit tight. I had a issue all night long where I was just pushing tight, and then it snapped loose on the exit there. So it made things a little bit difficult. But everybody kind of kept their wits about them tonight, and it ended up being a pretty good race, I think.
Well, it's good to see you bring it home second. And we hope to see you again next week out there on the podium. Is there anybody you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank my fiance and my son for letting me do this. Thank you guys for broadcasting, and thank Jeff and everybody over at RTRL for putting these things on, letting us go out there and have fun.
I'll try my hardest next week to stay out of your way because I know we go to Talladega, and I love me some plate track with the K&N, and definitely going to be a fun race.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to see you out there next week, Art. Daytona and Talladega are really they're fun tracks. I like them a lot, and you can have a lot of fun in the K&N cars there at those plate tracks.
If there's one thing that me and Alan know the most about, it seems to be our uncanny knowledge about how those K&N cars have benefited the most from the low, or as most people would call it, the no downforce package, just how much they suck up from behind, the side drafting, but also at the same point how they're also somewhat a danger, seeing how the nose of the car's face is basically a spade shovel, and the back of them is just flatter than a box, and if you bump a car in the wrong spot in the corner, it's definitely going to either send somebody around the tri-oval or cause the big one in one of the turns, or hell, I've even seen it on the backstretch. But that is the nature of plate track racing. But nonetheless, I love it, and I cannot wait for next week to get out there and run with you guys.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. I like plate track racing because it kind of evens the playing field out, and you get some guys up there that aren't up there every weekend, and just keep your nose clean on the K&N car, and you should come out with a pretty good finish there, Tien.
All right, once again, congratulations on that second spot, and I'll see you on track next week.
All right, thank you guys. We'll see you next week.
All right, that was our second place finisher, Jeremy Horn. All right, Alan, let's bring in Mr. Dominator. All right, Robert, you did it again, this time with a 21.446 second gap over second. How's it feel?
Oh, I'm exhausted. Absolutely exhausted. This is a high effort track. You have to really pay attention to what's going on. Fast lines right along that white line, both ends. So you got to be really precise. Make sure you don't touch that apron, but you get pretty much on that white line, kind of the Kevin Harvick line. And so yeah, just able to keep that line and be precise and just be consistent. Save tires and the way the pit stops work and everything. It looked for a minute like it was going to be a difference between maybe 2 or 3 pit stops. But we had that last caution and that kind of reset, I think, put everybody on equal footing. So we just played it out on the green from there.
Now, looking at the lap counter, it definitely doesn't sound like it was that hard. Out of the 134 laps, you led 125 of them. That's definitely got to feel really good as well.
Well, it does. I was actually kind of really surprised that last caution when everybody reset. I felt like that was kind of maintaining, and I thought maybe I would have an advantage over extremely long runs, just from having a feel for this track and knowing what you need to do to save tires. But with our 50% fuel rule that they run here, I didn't know that would be a huge advantage. It wouldn't show up because you're basically cutting the end of the run on. But I noticed after each pit stop, the gap kind of jumped up. I don't know, if I was just, really efficient getting on and off pit road, or what the deal was. But after that first set of green flag pit stops, after that last caution, the gap kind of jumped up, and then from there it started kind of build and kind of ended up where it was. So like I said, I don't know exactly where the gap came from that extreme. I don't think I was that much faster, but like I said, maybe it was just efficiency getting on and off pit road.
Well, judging from the way that we've seen it, no matter what league you're in, whether it's DieHard, RTRL, Mr. Shift, whatever, it seems that nobody is really willing to commit to coming down pit road until they figure out what the hell you're going to do, because you are the master strategy guy. And we saw a lot of guys come down maybe a lap or two before, short pit a little bit, but then once they saw you come down, it was usually second, third, and fourth were right there the next lap. And I think that's where the gap came from, because everybody, you've got to change that paint scheme and put a gigantic bullseye right on the ass of that car, because that's exactly what you are. Is you just come in here and you gave them the we call it the Chicagoland shuffle now, because Bristol Stomp doesn't sound as good here, but you've absolutely dominated pretty much every race that you've entered with these guys, and they're all kind of just taken aback. When we interviewed Jeremy, his flat-out term was, you're just a beast here at mile-and-a-half track. So definitely, we know that you know when to come down, what's the right call to do. It's just seeing it in another league, these guys don't know what you're capable of doing, but I think as the races progress on, they're starting to figure out, and they know that if they're going to beat you, the only way that's going to be done is by strategy, or the rare circumstances if you make a mistake, which is slim to none.
Yeah, it helps. I really like driving this car. We've got a good amount of experience driving it. I do really well. For whatever reason, I've really taken to tracks like this, the Atlantas and Texas and in Chicagoland. They all, you have to be very, very precise with your line. You have to try to take care of your tires while maintaining speed all at the same time. And for whatever reason, I've gotten the feel. In terms of pitch strategy, yeah, it started out kind of in control, but after we started getting towards the end, really I could just sit and react and stay out until either those guys came in. I had enough of a lead where I could wait for them and come in maybe the lap after, just to make sure if a caution came out or whatnot, it didn't get cycled out. And the rest is history from there.
Well, congratulations on the win tonight. Now, with this win in the books, how are you feeling about tomorrow night when we go to Charlotte with DieHard, knowing that you are the points leader right now in the chase, and we'll be going to round 3 of 4, knowing that next week will be Homestead, and that'll be the end of our truck season.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. With Charlotte being another mile and a half, kind of being in the rhythm there. Charlotte's a little bit different than some of the other ones, especially like turn 1, the entry. So it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out, how the track changes over practice, and then into qualifying and in the race, and what kind of strategies we'll see play out. It's a pretty tight points battle. I think it's like 14 points, so it's definitely not a safe lead. Goal is to make every point count, make every position count tomorrow, so that we can be in very good control for Homestead.
All right. Well, once again, congratulations on the win. Who would you like to thank?
Well, I want to thank everybody at the Roarin Thunder Racing League for putting this on, and overall, I thought everybody did a great job at really a difficult track with a clean race. You guys, DieHard Live TV, for broadcast on iRacing, and then finally my wife. We went down to actually Kentucky Motor Speedway today, and I did a real racing experience this afternoon, and so that was a blast. But they kind of had to have some patience with me because I was in a hurry to get back to town to get in the session for tonight.
Well, definitely, once again, would not have known any of it because, once again, just an absolute dominating performance. And hopefully tomorrow night we'll end up interviewing you once again in Victory Lane with DieHard Racing League at Charlotte.
Well, hopefully. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
With that in the books, that's another race down where Robert just absolutely smashed everybody here. We're going to go ahead and give you guys the official race results here. Obviously, we just interviewed our race winner, the 75 of Robert Barris, with a 21.446 second gap over our second place finisher tonight, the 14 of Jamie Horn. The 24 of Josue Tellis is going to bring it home third despite having a pit road incident earlier in the race. The 33 of Mark Gomez will bring it home fourth. Noah Lewis in the 98 fifth. The 00 of Aaron Cummings will bring it home sixth. The 6 of Josh Medlock brings it home seventh. Paul Buzz Cohen brings it home eighth in the 51 machine. The 70 of Glenn Bowen will bring it home ninth. Jim Whaley Jr. in the 46 will round out the top 10. Jeff Dotson in the 3 brings it home 11th. The 18 of Rick Mason will be your 12th place finisher. The 21 of Charles Smith, 13th, down 58 laps. And then rounding out the field will be the 88 of K&N Bommersbach, because once again, me down there at the bottom like an idiot, I signed in as a driver instead of a spectator, so that's why I am on the board. But that's going to do it here tonight at Chicagoland for the Roarin' Thunder Racing League. Alan, any final words before we send this one off?
Overall, it was a very great race. I mean, these guys drove hard all night long. Very few cautions, as we see from these guys time and time again. I look forward to keep broadcasting with them, but, we'll see where it goes from here.
All right, on behalf of everybody here at Roaring Thunder Racing League and DieHard Live TV, I want to thank everybody tonight who tuned in for the broadcast. Without these guys putting these races on, paying for the sessions to go up, paying for the broadcasting to happen, none of this would happen. And if nobody showed up to watch the races, it would be all in vain. So definitely our thanks goes out not only to everybody at the league for putting these races on, but also for all the viewers for tuning in every week to watch. And don't forget, tomorrow night we'll be live with DieHard Racing League as the Automated Office Technologies Truck Series goes into its third round of 4 races of the chase. We will be at Charlotte Motor Speedway, so make sure you guys tune in. I know I posted it on Facebook tonight with RTRL. I'll do the same thing again for DieHard, but that's going to do it for us here at Chicagoland. Once again, for everybody at RTRL and DieHard Live TV, thanks for tuning in, and we will see you guys next time.